He suddenly grabbed his cane and, charging recklessly, smashed it against his own wall. When the last piece of the cane shattered with a crash, everyone in the room suddenly held their breath. Deep within the hole in the wall, the outline of a skeleton was shockingly revealed. But what was even more horrifying was yet to come. As he continued to swing, the entire wall collapsed, and countless human bones poured out like a pile of rubble. Under the original white lighting, a cold gleam reflected off the bones, instantly turning the room into a suffocating hell on earth. This film is based on one of the world's top 10 real paranormal events. During filming, a series of strange incidents occurred on set, and even the actors were almost scared into quitting. The film is so true to life that, to this day, Connecticut in the United States still dares not reveal the exact address of the house. Get your talisman ready. 3 seconds from now, I'll take you into a truly terrifying story. The main character of the story is named Matt, a captain who has been given a death sentence by cancer. The doctor made it clear that he had less than a year to live. His mother, Lisa, in order to save her son, not only spent all the family's savings, but also drove 8 hours every day between their home and a top hospital. The long journey was overwhelming for the already frail Matt, who often had to lean against the car window to vomit violently halfway through. The sour, rotten smell of stomach acid became an inescapable shadow for both mother and son on the road. Her husband had blamed Lisa more than once, asking why she came home so late every night. Did she even care about this family anymore? Faced with his questioning, Lisa could only remain silent, her eyes red with tears. They had long since stopped keeping Matt hospitalized, and could only shuttle back and forth between the hospital and home day after day. Seeing her son tormented by illness broke Lisa's heart, so she decided to rent a place near the hospital, to spare him the pain of constant travel. In order to find an affordable place, Lisa spent an entire afternoon searching around the hospital, and it wasn't until dusk that she happened to run into a landlord putting up a rental notice. Hearing that someone was interested, the landlord's face immediately lit up with a warm smile, and he even offered to waive the first month's rent. This unexpected good news moved Lisa, and she immediately followed the landlord to see the apartment. The room was spacious, fully furnished with all necessary appliances and furniture, and outside the window, there was a view of lush greenery, truly an ideal place for recovery. But Lisa was no stranger to the ways of the world. She knew that low rent often came with hidden catches. When she pressed for details, the landlord just gave vague answers, saying the place was simply old, but there were no other issues. Although she still felt uneasy, for the sake of her son, Lisa temporarily suppressed her doubts and didn't sign the contract right away. However, on the way back, Matt's condition suddenly took a turn for the worse. Having just finished chemotherapy that day, he felt a tearing pain in all his joints. Beads of sweat the size of peas rolled down his cheeks, and his tears mixed with sweat soaked his face. Seeing her son curled up in pain, Lisa couldn't hold out any longer. She abruptly turned the car around and resolutely decided to rent the house. The landlord was quite considerate. Not only did he buy a new mattress in advance, but he also turned on the heating in the house. That night, mother and son made a bed on the floor in the living room and, exhausted, fell asleep. In the middle of the night, Matt was suddenly awakened by a faint sound. Rubbing his sleepy eyes, he followed the noise and groped his way to the basement. There were some old pieces of furniture stored here, and it looked no different from an ordinary storage room. The only thing unusual was the door in the corner. There was a piece of privacy glass installed on the door, making it impossible to see what was inside from the outside. Just as Matt leaned in close to examine the glass, a blurry human figure suddenly appeared in its reflection, as if someone was staring back at him from the other side. Matt jolted awake, drenched in cold sweat, his pajamas soaked through. He couldn't tell if what he'd just seen was real, or just a dream, but the bone-deep fear lingered vividly in his heart. The next day, mother and son began tidying up the house, getting ready to welcome the husband and the other children. While Matt was sorting through the clutter and picking out his own room, Lisa was cleaning when she unexpectedly found a stack of old-fashioned photos pressed at the very bottom of a drawer. At first, she thought they were just some old belongings left by the previous tenant, but the more she looked through them, the heavier her heart became. Everyone in the photos had a deathly pale complexion and wore traditional burial clothes. It was clear these were all memorial portraits of the deceased. Lisa was so frightened that her hands were trembling, and she hurriedly threw these ominous things into the trash bin outside the house. Meanwhile, Matt had already chosen his room. Coincidentally, this room was exactly the basement that had appeared in his dream the previous night. Standing in the middle of the room, he felt familiar, a deep connection to this place. He was also pleased that the room had its own private bathroom to avoid disturbing his family after chemotherapy vomiting. He recalled the door from his dream and tried to open it, but no matter how much force he used,